Good everyone. I hope you guys have an amazing day. So what I'll do today, I'll talk briefly about the data cloud. Um, though from an exam point of view, you may not be asked much about data cloud because this is not a data cloud certification. But that being said, since it's kind of briefly touch the AI aspect of the Salesforce, I might as well talk. Let me talk about it, right? Now, if you ask me what is a data cloud, like as you can see from the screen, right, this is a Salesforce data cloud page, product page. So it's a Salesforce, so it's a hyperscale data platform built into Salesforce. In other words, you can also say it's a real-time platform for customer magic. So in using data cloud, you can harmonize data that is updated every milliseconds. Um, so you can bring in data from a different source and you can create data insights, you can create data segmentation, you can do data augmentation, a lot of things you can do. It enables your teams to meet your customers right where they are like never before. That's just what the Salesforce marketing says, but it's AI powered uh, technology, what they have in place, and there you can bring in data from, let's say, Snowflake. You can bring in data from, let's say, S3 buckets from AWS. You can also connect to different DBs. You can bring it, and you can get a 360 view of a customer data at one place. And you can also do, like I said, segmentation. You can do machine learning on the data. You can do a lot of things with the data cloud, right? This is obviously, like I said, see, this is not a data cloud uh, session, or it's not a data cloud certification. So that's why I won't get into much details of it. So, what you can do with the data cloud, right? You can now get to know your customer. Like, as I said, you can get that 360 view of your customer information in one place. You can, and it does pro comes with out of box connector. Like I said, you can connect to Snowflake. It can connect to other tool chains, right? So if you look at here, um, it's pre-built, uh, and it also have the inbuilt artificial intelligence. So you can do real-time segmentation, data-driven automation. You can also do analytics and insights, which is pretty important, right? So you can also bring your own lake if you use the data lake, so you understand. So secure data bidirectionally, so you can connect to Azure data lakes. Um, so, like I said, you can leverage this technology with the Sales Cloud, with the Service Cloud, with the Marketing Cloud, Health Cloud, and you can get all the necessary data inside you want at one place. I believe the Salesforce has invested lots of money to get this platform up to the speed, and they are promoting very heavily. That being said, I just wanted to mention it's not free. There's a licensing cost, so you can go and check the licensing costs, right? So if you really wanted to use the tool, my philosophy is simple, right? Just because the tool is nice and shiny, and if you've got no use case, there's no point going for it. But if you have a use case, and all these nice and shiny things, what they mention, covers your use case and is useful for your organization, then it makes sense to look for funding to get the software approved for your industry or for your company. Otherwise, just because Salesforce or SAP or AWS or Azure launches a cool functionality doesn't mean that you have to use it if there's no business use case for it. At the end of the day, everything is driven by the business use case, right? So the place where I work, right, we are going to use data cloud because there's a different use cases for it. But that being said, if you are working for a small industry, right, and if you don't really have too much of data, if you have a machine learning team, for instance, then you don't really need a data cloud. To be honest, you can build your own models, you can build your own forecasting, you can do whatever you want, right? Um, and if you wanted to know about the data cloud architecture, if you're curious, you can go here and you can read through it, right? There's a lot of things you can do with it, right? I'm planning to make a data cloud uh, course eventually next year, and that won't be free course because as you know that I do a lot of course free. But that being said, I'm a businessman, right? I have to think from a business perspective, right? It's good that I do want to do tech philanthropy, but that doesn't mean that I can run my business for charity, right? I need to give people their salaries, right? I mean, if I come and ask you, hey, can you do stuff for me free because because you have a great heart and I think you wanted to take philanthropy, you won't be keen to do, all right? So the same analogy applies. That's why I don't like to give people discount. So when people come to me and discount, I said, hey, I wanted to hire you for a job. Would you give me a discount in your rate? Let's say if you come to me and say, hi, I want $150 an hour. I said, can you give me $90 as, but you won't like it, right? So the same goes with, a business owner wants to sell the product because the people don't always see the two sides of the spectrum. They see only one side of it. So I thought just to uh, put that across so that you can appreciate that, right? And the moment somebody asked me discount, I said, mate, I'm not keen to sell that course. You can go somewhere else, right? I know people from, you know, how do I say, right? I have a very bad reputation in New Zealand for being extremely blunt. At the workplaces, I tell people straight on the face. So I'm trying not to be blunt here. So what I wanted to say that, right? Please don't come to me for a discount. I'm not going to give anyone discount because think about it, mate. $35 for a course I charge. That's a peanut in 2023, right? Some places they charge, 5 grand, sometimes 3 grand. And I attended one of the course, and not in the Salesforce space, but for the other tech. I mean, my company paid for it. It's just like 2 grand. It was not so great, to be honest. Whole day course. I'm like, oh man, I couldn't make that course for cheaper. That's what I thought. But anyways, that's besides the point. So what I was trying to say, right? I'm gonna make the course Data Cloud because I want people to learn Data Cloud. It's gonna as we go forward in the Salesforce journey, Data Cloud will become one of the leading data strategic platform, right? So yeah, that's all I wanted to say. That being said, hope you guys have an amazing Monday. Adios.